Let's get one thing straight. This year, 2025, it doesn't belong to anyone else. It doesn't belong to the algorithm. It doesn't belong to your boss. It doesn't belong to your ex. It doesn't belong to that little voice in your head that keeps playing the same old story on repeat. It belongs to you, but only if you have the guts to take it. Radical self-ownership doesn't mean journaling about your dreams and then waiting for the universe to hand them to you in a neat little package. It means staring yourself in the mirror, locking eyes with your reflection, and saying, if it's going to happen, I'm the one who's going to make it happen. It means no more playing the blame game, no more hiding behind the excuse of circumstances, trauma, other people's opinions, the economy, or your past. You've got to understand nobody's coming to save you. That's not a threat. That's a wake-up call. You've been outsourcing your power for too long, giving it away in little pieces every time you scroll through someone else's highlight reel and think, they've got something I don't. You've been giving away your time, your attention, your fire by saying yes to things that drain you, to people who don't respect you, to environments that suffocate you. That ends now. That ends today. 2025 doesn't reward the people who play small. It doesn't hand out medals to the ones still waiting for permission. It's rewarding the ones who take command of their mindset, their habits, their space, and their identity. You've got to stop thinking you need to be ready. That's the lie. That's the trap. Readiness is a myth that keeps people stuck. You don't need another course. You don't need another plan. You need a decision. A decision to become unshakable. A decision to become responsible for your energy, your direction, and your outcomes. No more default mode. No more waiting for January 1st or some magic Monday. It's now. Always now. See, radical self-ownership is about taking the wheel. If your life were a vehicle, most people are just passengers. They're sitting in the back seat, looking out the window, and wondering where the hell they're going, and they keep asking other people for directions. You grab the wheel, you slam your foot on the gas. You figure it out as you go because movement is clarity. Sitting still, that's how you get stuck in your head. That's how you get drowned in doubt. But when you move, when you own your movement, doubt dies in the dust you leave behind. Ownership means you take full responsibility, not just for what's happened to you, but for how you respond to it, for how you interpret it, for the story you tell yourself about it. The victim story is loud, it's seductive, it says they hurt me, it says it's not my fault, it says I can't change this. That story will keep you chained to the same life you swore you wanted to escape. You want freedom, change the story, replace it with one that sounds like this. I may not have chosen everything that happened to me, but I choose what I do with it now. That's power, that's freedom. That's how you become unstoppable. And let's talk about pain, because self-ownership isn't about pretending everything's fine. It's not fake positivity. It's about turning pain into fuel. The pain of failure. Use it. The pain of rejection. Use it. The pain of being overlooked, misunderstood, underestimated. That's jet fuel. Own it. Don't bury it. Don't numb it. Channel it. You don't grow by avoiding pain. You grow by confronting it, processing it, and rising above it with scars that tell the world, I've been through it and I'm still here, stronger, smarter, sharper. You are not a victim of 2025. You are the architect, the builder, the sculptor. You get to shape this year with your thoughts, your actions, your rituals. You get to decide what you tolerate, what you pursue, what you let go of. That's the kind of ownership that separates the people who just talk about change from the ones who embody it. And make no mistake, embodiment is the name of the game now. Talking is cheap, complaining is noise, watching others live their dreams while you wait for the stars to align, that's done, that's over. Radical self-ownership means you stop needing validation. You stop seeking applause. You don't care if they clap. You're not doing it for the camera. You're doing it because you refuse to waste another damn year living someone else's version of life. You're doing it because the fire inside you is louder than the noise outside you. You're doing it because you've been sleeping on your own greatness, and now, finally, you're waking up. There is no outside force that will make this your year. There is no magic month that will flip the switch for you. There is only you. You are the common denominator in your life. You are the variable, the engine, the solution, and sometimes the problem. And when you can look yourself in the eye and say, I'm willing to be both, but I'm choosing to become the solution, you've already won half the battle. The other half, that's what you do next. That's what you do when no one's watching. That's what you do when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's lonely. Ownership shows up in the quiet. It shows up in the choices no one else sees. It shows up in discipline, in boundaries, in showing up when quitting would be easier. This year doesn't ask for your potential. It demands your execution. It demands your hunger. It demands your honesty with yourself. Because you can't fake ownership. You either live it or you don't. And if you do, everything changes. The momentum, the results, the peace, the power, all of it. It starts with a simple but ruthless truth. You are responsible for you. In 2025, the world is louder than ever. It's not just noise. It's a full-on war for your mind. Ads, algorithms, opinions, endless scrolling, trending distractions, dopamine hits dressed as entertainment. They're all fighting for the one thing that determines everything about your life, your attention. And if you don't take control of it, someone else will. Someone else already has. This year isn't about doing more. It's about focusing better. It's about getting crystal clear on what matters and then ruthlessly filtering out everything that doesn't. Because your attention is the seed of your energy, your habits, your emotions, and your identity. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. You focus on drama, you attract chaos. You focus on growth. You build momentum. You focus on other people's wins. You start doubting your own. Your entire future is shaped by what you're willing to look at, think about, and dwell on. This is not just spiritual talk, it's strategic power. Your attention is the first domino. Every belief you've built, every decision you've made, every pattern you're stuck in. It all started with what you gave your focus to. Attention is how you tell the world and your subconscious, this is important. That's why so many people are stuck, because they've been giving importance to the wrong things for years. They've been watering weeds and wondering why their life looks like a jungle of anxiety and confusion. Let's be honest, the attention economy is out for blood. These platforms don't care about your peace. They don't care about your purpose. They don't care about your future. They care about your clicks, your outrage, your emotional reaction. They feed you content to keep you hooked, not to help you grow. Every time you fall into the scroll trap, you're not just wasting time. You're trading focus equity, and it's the worst deal you'll ever make. You want to make more money, direct your attention to learning and building, not scrolling and reacting. You want better relationships, focus on depth and presence, not comparison and jealousy. You want to feel powerful again. Start reclaiming your attention from everything that's draining you, because when you do, you automatically start creating space for power to show up. Think about it. Every major transformation starts with a shift in focus. Not motivation, not inspiration, focus. You don't need more hype. You need sharper vision. That's what clarity is. It's not a gift, it's a choice. You choose it by deciding, I'm done giving my attention to what doesn't serve me. That's how you cut through confusion. That's how you silence the noise. You decide what matters most, and then you starve the rest. People keep talking about manifesting, but you can't manifest anything if your attention is split in 100 directions. The universe doesn't respond to half-hearted signals. It doesn't reward distraction. It rewards alignment, and alignment is only possible when you direct your attention like a laser, not a flashlight. You want to feel unstoppable. Stop chasing 10 things and master one. The world doesn't need another scattered, overstimulated, burnout-prone person trying to do it all. It needs focused, intentional humans who know exactly where they're headed and protect their attention like it's sacred. Because it is. Here's the raw truth. Distraction is self-sabotage in disguise. It feels innocent. It feels casual, just 5 minutes on this app. Just checking this one notification. But those 5 minutes add up. That one scroll becomes 1 hour. That one distraction pulls you off your frequency, off your rhythm, off your purpose. And then you wonder why you feel drained. You wonder why your goals feel so far away. It's not your ambition that's the problem. It's the mismanagement of your attention. If your attention is always being hijacked, your potential never gets the chance to lead. You've got to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. That means discipline. That means boundaries. That means saying no to the things that feel comfortable but keep you small. Every tab you close, every app you delete, every no you give to meaningless noise is a yes to your future. And your future is begging for you to show up with more focus than ever before. Let's talk about energy. People keep asking, how do I get more energy? The answer isn't more caffeine or more sleep. The answer is better focus. Because when you focus on things that excite you, grow you, stretch you, energy flows. Energy isn't created by resting more. It's created by aligning your attention with your mission. When you're focused, you're dangerous. You become magnetic. You move with purpose. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. You can't afford to be careless with your attention in 2025. The world is moving fast. Opportunities are showing up in windows, not open doors. And if you're too busy being distracted, you miss them. You don't even see them. You think it's bad luck. It's not bad luck, it's bad focus. When you master your attention, you stop reacting and start directing. You start building a life that reflects intention, not impulse. So what are you locked into right now? What has your focus that doesn't deserve it? Whose voice have you made louder than your own? Whose timeline are you obsessing over while yours is being neglected? Every second you give away your attention to something meaningless is a second you'll never get back. And here's the kicker, every second compounds. Just like money, attention earns interest. You invest it in growth, it compounds into confidence, clarity, and results. You invest it in distraction, and it compounds into doubt, fatigue, and regret. If you want to change your life this year, don't just change your goals, change your focus. Get honest about where your attention has been going. Audit your inputs, clean up your digital space, clear the clutter, mute the noise, and then choose every single day to put your focus where your future lies. Because once you lock in, once you narrow that beam, once you become selective with your attention, you become a weapon. Not against the world, not against others, but against the version of you that used to settle for chaos. That version of you, they can't survive where you're going. 2025 doesn't have time for the old you, the distracted you, the doubting you, the one addicted to every opinion, trend, and validation loop out there. This isn't the year to play nice with noise. This is the year to cut it. Ruthlessly, relentlessly, with no apologies. Because if you don't control what gets access to your mind, you will keep living a life that doesn't even feel like yours. Noise comes in all forms. It's not just the obvious stuff like social media, fake news, and endless scrolling. It's subtle, it's sneaky, it's in the conversations that drain you, the people who keep pulling you back to small thinking, the habits you justify because they're comfortable, even though you know they're keeping you average. It's in the comparison that slips in when you're tired, and the self-doubt that whispers when things get quiet. Noise is everything that distracts you from who you're becoming, and the only way to rise is to raise your standard higher than the volume of that noise. You've got to get crystal clear. What do you allow into your life that keeps you stuck? Who are you listening to that keeps you safe instead of stretched? What are you tolerating that's quietly killing your potential? Because here's the truth. Your standards aren't just preferences. They're boundaries. And if you don't upgrade them, the noise will overrun your system. You'll look up one day and realize you've spent another year living on autopilot, confused, reactive, and wondering why nothing feels aligned. This is the year to become elite with your environment. Mentally, emotionally, physically. Raise the standard of what you watch, what you read, who you follow, who you respond to. Just because it's popular doesn't mean it's purposeful. Just because it's trending doesn't mean it's truth. Just because they've got a platform doesn't mean they've got wisdom. This world rewards attention, not depth. And if you're not careful, you'll end up letting the loudest voices shape your life instead of your own inner truth. Cutting the noise means walking away from mediocrity, even when it's familiar. It means turning off what most people obsess over so you can dial into something greater. It means being willing to be misunderstood for being focused. It means missing out on gossip so you can build your legacy. It means not having an opinion on every topic because you're too busy mastering your mission. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't just want to evolve. They demand it from themselves. Raising the standard means never again letting your current circumstances dictate your energy. You don't need the perfect morning to be focused. You don't need everyone's support to move forward. You don't need to feel like it. You just need to decide, this is who I am now. The version of you who rises above. They already exist. They're just waiting for you to start living like it. The world around you is designed to keep you reactive. They want you emotionally triggered, angry, addicted, distracted. That's how they sell you things. That's how they keep you stuck in loops. But the world within you, that's where peace lives. That's where power lives. And you don't access that power until you shut off the external chaos long enough to actually hear yourself again. And for some of you, it's been years since you really did. You've been moving so fast, consuming so much, proving so hard, that you lost touch with your inner compass. You've been playing the volume game. More noise, more hustle, more opinions. When the real shift happens in silence, in solitude, in sovereignty, you don't need louder. You need cleaner inputs, cleaner thoughts, cleaner energy. You want clarity. It doesn't come from doing more. It comes from eliminating what doesn't belong. You can't build a sharp, powerful, high-standard life on top of low-standard habits and low-vibration environments. That's not evolution. That's delusion. You can't say you want focus while binging distractions. You can't say you want peace while marinating in drama. You can't say you want to grow while surrounding yourself with people who celebrate your stagnation. Raising your standard is painful at first, because it will require letting go of the familiar, of the old identity, of the things that once brought comfort but now breed complacency. It will require saying no more often, not out of arrogance, but out of alignment, because when you know where you're going, you start protecting your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. You stop negotiating with excuses. You stop entertaining stories that no longer fit the direction of your life. You stop responding to things that used to trigger you, because your standard now says, that's beneath me. And yes, it will get lonely sometimes. High standards always come with isolation at first. Because the higher you rise, the fewer people can meet you there. But that loneliness, it's just the price of leadership. And when you stay with it long enough, when you embody that level of personal excellence, you don't attract the old crowd anymore. You attract a new frequency. A new tribe, people who don't drain you, they ignite you. People who don't distract you, they challenge you. But you won't meet them until you cut the noise and raise the standard. You want change in 2025. You want breakthroughs. It won't come from more information. You've already heard enough podcasts, read enough books, saved enough quotes. You don't need more input. You need more intentionality. You need more selectivity. You need to treat your life like a sacred mission, not an open party where anyone and anything can just walk in, take a seat, and hijack your vibe. Let's kill the myth right here, right now. Affirmations aren't cute little sayings you tape on your mirror, hoping they'll magically change your life. They're not soft, they're not passive, and they're definitely not spiritual fluff for Sunday vibes and social media captions. Affirmations are weapons. Strategic, focused mental warfare you deploy against every limiting belief, every toxic thought loop, every ounce of internal resistance that tries to keep you small. In 2025, affirmations are no longer optional. They're non-negotiable. They're part of your arsenal. You either use them with intention or you get used by the noise of the world. Your brain is programmable. Whether you like it or not, it's listening to every single thing you think, say, and repeat. And if you don't program it with truth, it will default to fear. It will default to scarcity. It will default to stories you didn't even choose. Stories you inherited, stories you absorbed, stories that were never even yours. And those stories, they've been running your life from the shadows. You can't change what you don't confront. And affirmations are how you confront those lies and inject new code into the operating system of your mind. You don't say affirmations to feel good. You say them to build new belief structures. You say them until your subconscious has no choice but to submit. You say them when you're tired, when you're doubting, when you're at your lowest. Because that's when they hit the hardest. Anyone can speak life when they're on top. The real power is in speaking life when everything around you screams otherwise. That's not delusion, that's dominance. That's declaring who you are before the results catch up. Affirmations are not about pretending you're somewhere you're not. They're about claiming where you're headed and anchoring your focus so deeply into that direction that your actions can't help but align. That's why they work, not because they're magic, but because they create magnetic alignment. When your thoughts, your words, and your emotions are all pointed in the same direction, you become a force. You move different. You think different. You start attracting at a different frequency. But it starts with the decision to speak as if the shift is already in motion. There's a reason high performers don't leave their inner world up to chance. They don't just meditate when life is calm. They don't affirm greatness only when they're winning. They do it daily, relentlessly, because they know the most powerful thing you can do in a world trying to distract and dilute you is declare, out loud, exactly who the hell you are. You want to become the kind of person who doesn't shrink under pressure. You better be telling yourself every morning, I perform under pressure. I rise when most fold. I don't break, I break through. You want to build unshakable self-trust. Start saying, I back myself. I move with certainty. I don't wait. I initiate. You want to build wealth, love, peace, impact. Speak it into your reality before anyone else sees it. Not because you're trying to trick the universe, but because you're reprogramming the most powerful signal tower in your life, yourself. The repetition is what rewires you. You can't say it once and expect change. That's like going to the gym once and expecting a six-pack. You've got to beat that new belief into your nervous system, day after day, week after week, until it's no longer a wish. It's your identity. That's the difference between those who dabble in mindset and those who live it. One says, I hope this works. The other says, this is who I am now. And don't think for a second that affirmations are only for when things are bad. No, that's amateur thinking. Pros affirm when they're winning too, because momentum compounds. And when you're already in motion, the last thing you do is take your foot off the gas. You double down. You amplify the frequency. You keep telling your mind more of this. This is who we are. This is what we do. Your current identity is just the sum of the beliefs you've rehearsed most often. Let that land. You are not fixed. You are not stuck. You are not defined by what you've been through or what you've failed at. You are defined by what you decide to reinforce, and affirmations are your daily act of reinforcement. They are the bricks you lay to build a new mental structure that supports the life you say you want. But don't just say affirmations, feel them. Say them with breath in your chest and conviction in your voice. Speak like you mean it. Speak like your future depends on it, because it does. Passive words create passive results. But when you speak with fire, with truth, with clarity, your subconscious listens. And over time, it starts to echo that belief back to you, not just in your mind, but in your behavior, your posture, your choices. Affirmations aren't just about the mind. They shift your energy, and your energy is what leads the room. Your energy is what people feel before you even speak. So when you step into your day after affirming your power, your worth, your direction, everything changes. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't react to the energy in the room you set it. This is how you become magnetic. This is how you shift your frequency, not by waiting for external validation, not by chasing another temporary hit of confidence, but by locking into truth every single day and repeating it until your whole being starts vibrating with certainty. Affirmations done right aren't fantasy, they're structure, they're frequency, they're mental armor and internal compass, forged in repetition and reinforced in fire. Every goal you're chasing in 2025, whether it's money, success, peace, impact, health, freedom, it's all downstream from one thing, your inner world. You can grind harder, hustle smarter, strategize all you want, but if the internal wiring is off, nothing on the outside will hold. It's like trying to build a mansion on a cracked foundation. The facade might look good for a while, but sooner or later, the weight of it all starts crumbling from the inside. That's why the shift you're looking for doesn't start with what you do. It starts with who you are on the inside. The world is obsessed with output. Show me your results, show me your numbers, show me your followers, your income, your milestones, but all that, it's a reflection, not the root. The root is in how you think, how you feel, how you speak to yourself when no one's watching. It's in the stories you believe, the energy you carry, the standards you live by when the spotlight's off. That's where the real work happens. That's where the breakthrough brews quietly before anyone else can see it. You don't need more performance, you need alignment, the kind of inner alignment that creates effortless, sustainable outer execution. People get frustrated when they don't see results, but most of them never stop to ask, am I internally aligned with the outcomes I say I want? Because if you're chasing abundance with a scarcity mindset, your actions will always self-sabotage. If you're chasing love while believing you're unworthy, you'll attract dysfunction over and over. If you're chasing clarity while surrounding yourself with chaos, you'll stay stuck in fog. Your outer world can't outpace your inner frequency. That's not a motivational quote. It's a universal law. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. That's the hard pill most people avoid. They think manifestation is about visualizing harder or saying the right words. No, it's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally creates and holds the life you desire. That version of you, they think different, they choose different, they speak different, they breathe different. And they built that energy, one aligned choice at a time, from the inside out. The inner world is built in silence, in solitude, in the unsexy moments where no one claps, no one watches, and no one validates. It's built when you sit with the discomfort instead of running from it. It's built when you choose discipline over distraction, integrity over indulgence, truth over convenience. It's built when you stop reacting to the world and start leading your own. That's what builds inner strength. That's what builds energetic gravity, the kind of presence that doesn't need to speak to be felt. Your inner world is made up of the thoughts you rehearse, the emotions you feed, the intentions you set, and the values you refuse to compromise. You want to know why some people just move different, why they glow with confidence, move with certainty, and magnetize success without even trying. It's not luck. It's not genetics. It's because they've done the inner reps. They've cleared out the internal noise, the baggage, the shame, the guilt. They've replaced those frequencies with clarity, conviction, and alignment. And now, their outer world simply mirrors the work they did in silence. That's the new standard. That's the new power play. Not pretending to be perfect, but being integrated. Not chasing surface-level success, but embodying deep-rooted wholeness. When your inner world is clean, calm, and charged with truth, your outer world starts to organize itself around you. The chaos calms down, the confusion fades, the opportunities show up. Not because you forced them, but because you finally became the version of yourself who's ready to receive and sustain them. Look around. Most people are mentally overstimulated and emotionally underdeveloped. They're chasing dopamine while ignoring discipline. They're flooded with information but starved of introspection. They've got access to every tool imaginable, yet they're disconnected from the most powerful tool they'll ever have, their own internal alignment. That's why nothing sticks. That's why they keep hitting walls. Because the inner game was never built to support the weight of the dream. You want peace in 2025, build it inside. You want power, generate it from within. You want abundance, cultivate the mindset, the heart, the energy of someone who already lives in overflow. Stop waiting for external circumstances to validate your worth. That's backwards. Your inner world sets the standard. The world reflects you. It's not about control, it's about command. You command your reality by commanding your frequency, and your frequency is born from your inner environment. Audit it. What are you carrying emotionally that no longer belongs? What thoughts are you rehearsing that contradict your goals? What wounds are you ignoring that still control your reactions? You can't outperform your inner world. You can't fake wholeness, but you can build it. And you build it every time you choose truth over ego, ownership over blame, stillness over chaos, vision over comfort. Your habits, your relationships, your income, your momentum. They all orbit around your internal state. You want different results, get a different foundation, one that's rooted in clarity, not confusion, intention, not impulse, expansion, not fear. Your inner world is your home base. It's where everything starts and everything returns. Clean it up, protect it like a fortress, and upgrade it like your future depends on it. Because it does in 2025, your energy is your currency. It's the most valuable asset you've got, and not just in a metaphorical feel-good kind of way. It's real, tangible. Everything you build, create, pursue, or attract in your life is directly linked to the quality of energy you bring into each moment. That's your frequency. That's your signature. It's how people experience you before you even speak. It's what either opens doors or keeps them closed. And too many people are walking around bankrupt, drained, depleted, reactive, because they haven't learned how to guard that energy like the sacred fuel it is. Every conversation you engage in, every piece of content you consume, every environment you expose yourself to, these things either deposit into your energy account or they rob it blind. Most people leak energy all day long and don't even realize it. They say yes to people they secretly resent. They scroll through negativity like it's harmless. They entertain drama, justify distractions, and call it being nice or staying informed. But the truth is, they're broke internally, and they're wondering why they can't make moves externally. Because you can't build empires with empty tanks. Protecting your energy isn't about hiding from the world. It's about filtering it. It's about developing such sharp discernment that you no longer react to every opinion, request, or emotion thrown your way. You don't owe your energy to everything that asks for it. Not every message deserves a reply. Not every comment needs your opinion. Not every vibe is worth matching. In fact, the more focused you become, the more selective you must be. That's not arrogance. That's energetic stewardship. That's mastery. That's knowing what season you're in and refusing to leak your life force on things that don't align with the mission. You've got to see your energy as sacred real estate. Not everyone gets to live there. Not every thought deserves residency. Not every feeling should be allowed to rearrange the furniture. Your mind is your temple, your emotions are your compass, and your body is the vessel. Treat them accordingly. That means paying attention to how you feel after interactions. That means noticing which environments drain you and which ones charge you up. That means unfollowing, muting, unplugging, and walking away with zero guilt if it means protecting your state. Because your state is everything. When your energy is sharp, you make powerful decisions. When your energy is clean, you attract aligned people. When your energy is vibrant, you execute with clarity. But when it's mudded, when it's scattered, tired, and influenced by chaos, that's when you make reactive choices. That's when you slip back into patterns that don't serve you. That's when you lose momentum without even realizing it. Start seeing your energetic state like a bank account. Every morning you wake up with a certain balance. What you consume, who you talk to, how you move, those things either deposit or withdraw. That morning scroll. That argument you didn't need to have. That project you agreed to out of guilt. Withdrawals. That workout you almost skipped but did anyway. That walk in silence with your own thoughts. That deep breath before reacting. Deposits. It's that simple, and over time those micro choices stack. They build your entire reality. Here's the problem. Most people are reactive spenders when it comes to their energy. They're overdrawn by noon and wonder why they feel heavy, frustrated, unclear, or disconnected. But it's not a mystery. It's math. They gave away their power to anything and everything without asking, "Does this serve me?" That question should become your filter, not in a selfish way, but in a strategic one, because you can't pour into your purpose if you're constantly leaking into your past. You can't show up fully for your future if your energy is being hijacked by things that don't evolve you. And let's be real, it's not always the obvious energy drainers that get you. Sometimes it's the subtle stuff. The low-key gossip that seems harmless, the self-doubt you entertain in silence, the guilt that creeps in when you say no, the resentment that builds from staying silent when you should have spoken your truth. Those are the tiny leaks that cost you big breakthroughs, and the only way to seal them is to raise your awareness. Start noticing how things feel, not just how they look or sound. Start honoring your own frequency more than you honor the comfort of others. Protecting your energy is also about protecting your standards. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you let people constantly overstep, interrupt, drain, or manipulate, don't be surprised when that becomes the norm. Your boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They're filters to keep your focus in, and focus is power. Focus is momentum. Focus is the currency that builds empires while everyone else is busy reacting to noise. And let's not forget, energy protection is physical too. Your sleep, your food, your movement, your breath. These aren't side quests, they're foundational. You want to be on fire creatively, you want to build relentlessly, connect deeply, and lead powerfully. Then treat your body like the engine it is. Stop abusing it, ignoring it, numbing it. Start fueling it, moving it, listening to it. Because your physical state directly feeds your emotional and mental clarity. There's no shortcut around that. When you protect your energy, you start seeing things clearly. You don't just react to life, You design it. You don't just survive the day, you command it, and the people around you feel it. They respect it. They either rise to match your frequency or they fall away. And that's not a loss, it's alignment. Because the version of you that's locked in, dialed up, and vibrating at full charge, that version doesn't chase, beg, or explain. They attract, they create, they embody, and they understand more than anything that energy is the new economy, and only the ones who protect it will prosper in the new era. 2025 isn't waiting for you to catch up. It's inviting you to rise up. And the only way to do that is by turning inward, locking into radical self-focus, and choosing to become the architect of your own reality. You don't need another shortcut. You don't need another trend. You need unshakable alignment, mentally, emotionally, energetically. This is your season to stop outsourcing your power and start owning your presence. Affirmations are your daily armor. Your focus is your weapon. Your energy is your currency. And your inner world, that's the command center. Clean it up, own it. Build it with precision and intention. Because the version of you that dominates 2025 isn't coming by accident. They're forged in fire, in the quiet reps, the daily decisions, the high standards, and the relentless commitment to truth. This is the year you stop watching others shift and start becoming the shift. No more distractions, no more dilution. Focus only on yourself. Build from the inside out. The world won't know what hit it